going on, guys? Pat here from the Human Form. I just want to say I hope you guys are staying safe and healthy during these crazy times. With that in mind, we'll go ahead and get to the workout that we got today. First 3 exercises you got, okay, are going to be performed in a 15-minute circuit. Hopefully you can get through about 3 to 4 sets of these exercises. So, first one that we got is going to be a hip banded RDL, okay? So, I'll grab my kettlebell here. If you are in stability, okay, you're going to be working with just normal RDLs. So again, to review for an RDL, I'll show you from the side here. You want feet to be about shoulder width apart, okay? You're going to have a little bit of bend in your knees, and what we're focusing on here is trying to push our hips back as far as we can go and get a little bit of hamstring tension on this one, right? So hips are pushing back behind you like you're trying to bump into the wall, coming back up and squeezing your glutes. Try to keep your core nice and tight the whole time, all that good stuff. So if you have a kettlebell or dumbbell at home, you can use this. But again, what you're gonna work on, soft knees, right? Hips going back behind you, coming back up, squeezing your glutes. Make sure you're squeezing under your armpits. You're trying to keep that kettlebell or dumbbell between your feet the whole time. So, stability, we'll be knocking out normal RDLs, okay? Along with that, if you are in strength or power, you can hook yourself up to a band like so. I have one attached to the bottom of the couch here. Preferably you want it to be about hip height, but if this is all that you can do, then this will work just fine as well. So you'll step into the band and fix it so it goes right around your hips, okay? And everything's gonna stay the same as a normal RDL. So, right, holding on to the kettlebell, coming up, squeezing your glutes, right? Hips are gonna go back behind you, right? Abs stay super engaged the whole time and still squeezing those glutes. So putting a band around your hips is just gonna cue your body to use your glutes a little bit more. So that'll be a little bit different there. And then for power, you can also do the banded RDLs, or you can just work on normal kettlebell swings. So for those, right, everything is gonna stay the same as a normal RDL. You're just gonna work on working the hips back, snapping the kettlebell through like so, making sure you keep the kettlebell right high the whole time. When it's coming back through your legs, make sure you're not bending too low when you bring the kettlebell back through on the swing. So we got hip banded RDLs. You will work 12 to 15 reps for that one, all right? After that, we're gonna work on a split stance, single arm row. So stability and strength, you'll be working on this one. Again, I'm just going to use the same band that I used for the hip banded RDL, and I'll be in a split stance, right? So whichever arm I'm rowing with, the opposite foot is going to be forward, right? I'm just going to work on pulling the band back towards my hip pocket, right? So elbow drives back towards my back pocket, like so, trying to feel lats and get that shoulder back as well, right? So you'll work here, you'll switch it to the other side, okay? So make sure you're good and stable there with your stance. We'll go 8 to 10 on each arm, and then if you are in power, you can work in a split squat stance. So what that'll look like is you'll be down in a split squat. So, right, whichever knee is closest to the ground, you'll just keep it at about 1 inch or 2 off the ground. So this leg will have to be working a little bit. and you're just going to do the same thing, right? So rowing, 8 to 10 on one side, and you'll switch it, 8 to 10 on the other side. So we got that. Split stance, single arm row. Last thing you guys got is going to be planks with a slide, so you can use a dumbbell, a kettlebell, or really any sort of object you might have in your house, a heavy book. I actually have some laundry detergent that I'm going to use for this one. And what you'll do is, if you're in stability, you'll just work on normal planks, right? So setting yourself up, whether you're on your knees or your feet, try to stick with that level, right? You're just going to work on holding and breathing in this position, keeping your core engaged, hips tucked underneath you, all that good stuff. For stability, if you're just working on normal planks, you'll go about 5 to 6 breaths down in that plank position, okay? If you are in strength, you're going to work on a leg lift or shoulder tap, okay? So we'll start you out in the push-up position like so, okay? And you'll work about 8 to 10 leg lifts on each side, okay? If those feel a little easy, then you can work on shoulder taps. So, right? Tapping one hand on each shoulder like so. Make sure you keep your hips square the whole time, core engaged. Make sure you're breathing, all that good stuff. And then if you're in power, you'll work on the plank with the slide. So what that'll look like, up in the plank position, right? Hand that is on the opposite side of whatever you're dragging comes through. Drag it to one side, switch it, drag it to the other side, like so. And you'll go about 8 to 10 drags back and forth with that one. So again, just to review for the planks, if you're in stability, normal planks. If you're in strength, you're going to work on planks with a leg lift or planks with a shoulder tap. The shoulder taps will be a little bit tougher than the leg lifts. And then the last one is if you're in power, you'll be working on the drag across the floor with whatever item you're using. You'll go about 8 to 10 for each of those. So those are your first 3. Go ahead and pause the video right now, work through those for 15 minutes, and then when you come back, we'll go through the next 3. Alrighty guys, hopefully that first set of 3 exercises went well for you, okay? We'll move on to the next set of 3, okay? So first one is going to be a curtsy lunge. If you are in stability for lunging, you're just going to work on normal split squats, okay? So for these, okay? Right, you're going to have one foot forward, other foot is going to be back behind you, right? You want a little bit of a forward lean, a little bit of bend in the front leg, and you're just going to work yourself straight down, come back up, right? So straight down, coming back up. That front leg should be doing the majority of the work there, okay? And you want to think about keeping your knee in line with your toes. So we don't want to be leaning way back like this, but I also don't want you leaning way forward so your knee comes past your toes. So knee stays in line with toes, straight down, straight back up, all right? And you'll switch. Same thing on the other side. Straight down, straight back up, like so. You want to keep a little bit of bend in that front leg the whole time. So you'll do 8 to 10 on one leg, and then you'll switch it, 8 to 10 on the other leg. If you are in strength or power, for lunging, you'll work on a curtsy lunge. So what that'll look like is you'll be stepping behind you and then also kind of across your front leg, if that makes sense. So you're going to try to keep your hips square the whole time, and just like a normal reverse lunge, right, where you step back, you'll do that, but instead you're going to take that foot and come around behind you like so. So, right, you're stepping, whoop, stepping back, behind you, coming down, driving back up. So, right, again, step behind you, down, drive back up. That front leg should be doing the majority of the work with that, right? So you'll knock out 8 to 10 on one leg, and then you'll switch it, 8 to 10 on the other leg. For that one, you can add weights. So if you have dumbbells, you can hold a dumbbell while you do that in a goblet position right underneath your chin, like so, if you want to make those a little bit tougher. So we got curtsy lunges, okay? Along with that, you're going to work on some kettlebell or dumbbell pullovers. So depending upon how heavy of a kettlebell or dumbbell you have, you will probably be able to use one of those. If your kettlebell or dumbbell are too heavy for you for this one, you can also use something like laundry detergent or a heavy bag or whatever it is that you might need. So for this one, you'll be laying on your back, okay? Like so. Knees are going to be up in the air just like as if we're doing a dead bug, okay? You're going to grab on to that dumbbell, kettlebell, or whatever object it is that you're using, and you're going to think about trying to reach that up towards the ceiling. So reach the object up towards the ceiling. You'll take a breath in through your nose, and then breathe out, and control that object down as low as you can go, and then you'll bring it back up. So core should stay super engaged the whole time. Lower back is not coming up off the ground while you do that one. So very similar cues to when we have you guys use dead bugs. So with this one, I recommend that you use a lighter dumbbell or kettlebell than you would think. So that should primarily be stretching or be working, excuse me, your abs, a little bit of shoulders as well. But again, I'd rather have you stick with a lighter dumbbell or kettlebell or lighter object that you might be able to use for that one. So everyone is working with that. You're going to go 8 to 10 reps on that one. And then last one you guys got is going to be a half kneeling banded chop. So if you are in stability for this one, you're going to have one knee down, okay? So one knee down closest to the band, okay? And all you're going to do is you're going to work on pressing the band out in front of you, coming back in, nice and controlled. So pressing out, back in, okay? You have two options for the grip there. If you go with a double overhand grip, which is what I got right now, that'll be a little bit tougher. Your other option, grab with the outside hand first. Inside hand will come over top. Same deal, pressing out, back in like so. Core stays super engaged the whole time. We're working obliques with that one. You'll go 6 to 8 on one side and then switch it 6 to 8 on the other side. All right, after that, so that's just for stability. For strength and power, right, you're gonna work on a chop. So coming out, controlling it back in, driving the band outside of that front knee like so, right? So 6 to 8 on one side, switch it 6 to 8 on the other side. Obviously with a band, the more that you stretch that out, the tougher that's going to be. So we're focusing on working obliques for that one. So you got lunges, pullovers, and then either presses or chops. We'll go 15 minutes of those three. So go ahead and get rolling on those, and then once you guys come back, we'll go over the finisher. Alrighty guys, last thing we got here for today for this workout, everyone's favorite, we're going to work on some Tabata squats. So how Tabata squats work is you're working for 20 seconds, okay, resting for 10 seconds, and you're going to do that for 8 rounds. So it's 4 minutes of total work, but believe me, it feels a lot longer than that. So for Tabata squats, right, setting yourself up, make sure you got some space. You can use something for weight if you wanted to make these a little bit tougher. But again, all you're doing is you're working on squatting down, right? 20 seconds of squatting. You'll rest for 10 seconds, and then you'll just repeat that. Again, you're going to go 8 total rounds for that. Each round of 20 seconds, you're trying to knock out as many squats as you can. So again, you can add a little bit of weight to that to make that a little tougher. And that'll be it for this workout. That'll finish you off. Good luck and enjoy.